It's always fun to chat with our next guest, and now to get him on the show to actually join us here. He's the Senior Vice President for Industry Affairs for the Consumer Electronics Association, Jason Oxman. Jason, welcome into Tomorrow. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's great to be on your show.
It's a pleasure to have you with us, too, because there are so many things that you're running around and your staff actually helping to make this all happen. The networking that goes on here at the Forum every year is amazing, too, to see the industry leaders in every sense of the word here. What do you take from the Washington Forum each time?
It is a great opportunity for our member companies who don't spend a lot of time in Washington, D.C., because, of course, they're out running their businesses. It's a good opportunity for them to spend some time with their elected officials here in town and the staff who work for them at the regulatory agencies like the FCC, at the Congress and the like, and help them understand what it's really like to run a business and help them understand how the policy decisions that are made here in Washington really have an impact on the bottom line, on people's lives, on the products they make and the products they sell. That, I think, is the magic of Washington Forum. It's that melding of the business and the policy issues together.
True, because you do have a lot of policy makers. You have a lot of congressional folks that are here, whether they're assistants or actual senators or representatives, that also come to speak on some panels and otherwise, where they do get to share some ideas and talk about what's important, I guess, in their business and in this industry in general, and hopefully continue to remind our government leaders that the Consumer Electronics Association and all of its members contribute greatly to our economy and our society in general.
That's absolutely right. You know, this morning, a good example of that kind of interaction that you're talking about. We had an FCC commissioner, Rob McDowell, who came by. He spoke to our Board of Industry Leaders, which, as you well know, is a gathering of several dozen of the real elite executives of CEA, the volunteers who spend the most time setting CEA's policies. And Commissioner McDowell spent as much time asking questions of them as they did of him, because he really wanted to get a good understanding of the impact of the policy decisions. And then after that, we had Congressman Rick Boucher, who's a congressman from Virginia, who came in to speak about the digital television transition. Again, he talked about some of his concerns about the transition. He knows it's going to happen on time in February of 2009. He knows that date is not going to change, but he really issued a call to action to all of the CEA member companies to engage in consumer education, make sure everybody knows about the transition to help it succeed. That kind of interaction is really the value of Washington Forum.
And of course, it's been very intensive, the DTV transition. As you well know, we cover it every week on our show and talk about it as well. But you also moderated an interesting panel here today at the Forum. Tell me about that and what you brought from your panel.
The panel featured a really good representation of the partnership between the private sector, including the CE industry, broadcasters, and the cable industry, and the government, the NTIA, the arm of the Commerce Department that's administering the DTV coupon program, and the Federal Communications Commission. Had representatives from all of those organizations talking about consumer education. And actually, the government is doing a lot of consumer education, but it's the private sector that's really stepped up and dedicated literally hundreds of millions of dollars to an education campaign that is getting out, and it's working. We actually survey consumers to find out what they know about the DTV transition. We surveyed them back in 2006 and found the percentage of Americans that knew about the transition was in the low 40s. We surveyed them a few weeks ago. We found it's up to 74%.
Wow.
An 80% increase in just about 14 months, which is great. It shows our education initiatives are working, and we heard a lot about that today here.
That's true, and hopefully some of us media folks are helping to achieve that goal as well, but certainly it's all about getting it done, and the new initiative of Convert Your Mom in time for Mother's Day. I mean, it's to remind us to think about our parents and our grandparents and others who might not get it quite yet, the big picture, and help them to make sure that they're covered by February 2009 to not miss a minute of their favorite televisions.
That's right, and all of us in the industry have a responsibility to engage in that consumer education. Your show is a great way to get out to radio audiences and make sure they know about it. Broadcasters, television broadcasters are putting public service announcements out there, and we're doing our part with Florence Henderson and Convert Your Mom to make sure in time for Mother's Day that baby boomers help their senior citizen parents get done what they need to do to continue enjoying free over-the-air television in the digital age.
You can tell why you're in charge of communications for the association, because you are a great speaker, but a fun guy to work with too, because you are excited about this industry, and it shows, I think, in everything that you do, whether it's with members or us media folk or otherwise. You enjoy talking about as we do consumer electronics.
The enthusiasm is really, it's real, as it is with you. We love these products. We love using them, and we love making them a part of our lives. And it's great to have a job where you get to talk about them all day, isn't it?
Though? Yeah, I love it. And for 13 years, and we're not tired of it, nor will I ever see that happening, because there's always so much cool stuff coming out. You want to visit digitaltips.org for a lot of the things that Jason was talking about. Of course, CE.org is the Consumer Electronics Association's official website, but digitaltips.org, and it gets you some great information and links to other cool sites and a lot of stuff that you need to know. Jason Oxman, Senior VP of Industry Affairs for CEA, thanks again for joining us into tomorrow, and thanks for having us here at your forum.
And Dave, thanks for all you do for our industry. We appreciate it.
Our pleasure. We're back with more from our nation's capital. I'm Dave Graveline. This is Into Tomorrow here on the Advanced Media Network.